And so that leads to it is a lot of questions in the intro.
Now we have you, we have Drew, we have, okay, so there's a lot of things. And then I'm going to ask you about this now. I don't know if we're going to put it in our speak of it tonight. We might have to save it for the reunion.
Somebody gonna eat this tonight.
I was like, oh my God. Like watching it back, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? This is crazy.
Wait a minute, what?
She said her husband said that Drew's husband said that she did not.
He was there? I didn't see him.
I'm just telling
Because
you.
I saw them.
Well, speak on it. What's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? I am your girl, Candy, and I'm about to speak on it. And sing. I had already heard. I can turn a shade tree into a money tree. So yes, I said, and sing. Because that's what I was feeling.
I feel like, Drew definitely comes in and does her thing, but Drew has an acting background as well. She is an actress, honey. So sometimes she be braided so hard, I'm like, oh my God, like, is this like, are we serious right now? Is this really happening?
And sing. Well, speak on it. So, all right. Let's talk about this first dinner that we had. It was a lot. It was a lot for me. And I don't know what y'all thought, but first of all, let me just put you in my headspace at the time. I was fighting against a 24-hour stomach virus, right? I was just getting to the point where my stomach was kind of settled, but not. So I was still squeezing my booty cheeks together, okay? Which means I'm not finna be sitting here entertaining all this extra BS that, back and forth. Like, I'm really focused to, keep my stomach together.
You want to check on Drew?
No, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay, I'm just trying to put you where I was mentally. Okay, we sitting at the table. Drew and Sheree start going back and forth about Drew $1,000 lawsuit. Now, I know it's wrong for me to play down someone else's feelings, right? So you're like, oh, Kandi, you just don't care about anybody. But it's just like, I don't know. Stuff like that is just kind of like minor to me. Yeah, lawsuits are not fun. I do understand that. But it was $1,000. And I'm like, okay, you can let her get up under your skin about $1,000? Now, I do believe I said this before in one of the previous speak on it. Now, mind you, they had been sitting there for a second. I guess they wasn't getting to the topic at hand like our producer, Eric, wanted them to. So he stopped the conversation. It was like, okay, y'all need to get this shit together. Y'all need to start really discussing some real stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then he walked away. Next thing I know, these girls really, really start going back and forth about this $1,000 lawsuit. Drew gets up from the table. I was like, okay, is she acting for Eric? What is happening here? What is happening? I couldn't understand it. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys really felt like I was being rude. Maybe. I don't know. But I just, it wasn't doing enough for me to be sitting up here getting emotional about. And no, I did not get up from the table to go check on her. I'm sorry. My stomach was not feeling well, so I was getting up to go to the bathroom. That's just how I felt at the time. Am I wrong?
It doesn't feel good, does it?
So you're trying to teach me a lesson?
No, I'm not
You're trying to be a tit for tat? Girl, bye. We already talked about it. So you just are incapable of moving forward. So how are you doing a trip about healing and you can't heal your damn self?
Okay, this is what y'all need to understand. A lot of times these girls don't really be finished with nothing. Just because they had a conversation about it don't mean they really finished with it, right? A lot of times they still feeling away, but for the sake of, okay, they know they got to continue to be around each other anyway because we taping this show together, they be like, okay, we can squash it. But really deep down inside, sometimes they still be holding grudges, okay? And I think at the end of the day, Sheree let us know in this episode that she be wanting to get some payback. She said it. She said it. She was like, oh, they gonna bring up stuff about me. I'm bringing up stuff about them too. So, yeah, that's what Sheree was doing. They even ran back, some of the things that Drew said or whatever, bringing back rumors to the group. So Sheree feels justified in how she's handling this situation. Drew wasn't really saying much this time. Drew is more so in a emotional space. right? So she wasn't really dishing it this time. She's dished it before, and that is what Sheree is reacting off of. This was probably Drew's first time being sued for something like this. And then to have her name dragged into the blogs, then she don't pay people. Like, you don't really want that as something that's being said about you. So, hindsight, I'm looking back and saying, okay, I guess she was more upset about that. But in that moment, I was just like, really? This argument made her jump up out her seat and want to cry? Like, that's how I was feeling. So, yes, I said, and scene. Because that's what I was feeling. Oh, Kandi's not a good friend, blah, blah, blah. I'm not the emotional friend. All my friends would tell you I'm not the person that's going to be sitting here feeling sorry for you about nothing. Like, we can talk through it, and I'm going to help motivate you to get past it. But I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, girl, like, why are we? That's not who I am. And don't expect me to be. Don't expect me to be. I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. Let's get this done. That's who I am. Okay, let's help get you to the next level, get you past this situation. But I'm not going to be sitting up here giving you a shoulder to cry on about this $1,000 lawsuit. I'm not. I'm saying, girl, come on. We just got to get over it. What we got to do to make this lady go away? That's what I'm thinking.
I hate that you're going through a lawsuit. I'm sorry, Drew. I did not know you were going through any of that.
When I heard Sheree say that, I was like, nah, Sheree, you was the one who brought up the lawsuit. What you mean you didn't know this wasn't going on? Wait, huh? What did you just mean when you just said that? Because good damn well, you the one who knew about the lawsuit because you helped all the rest of us know about the lawsuit. So what are you talking about? So that didn't make no sense to me. Nah, here's the thing.
It just scares me with Drew because I don't know when Drew is serious or not.
Yeah, it's always weird to me when people like Marlo, who are always doing, she's always doing questionable things, right? Always.
And that's what Kandi does. Every time she goes somewhere, she blends right in.
Her motives are always questionable. Her attitude is questionable. The things she says out her mouth is questionable.
Whenever Kenya and Kandi are not around, all of us get along.
So when she says things like,
I don't know, Drew's scary to me because she's always, I never know if to trust or believe what she's.
that's how we feel about you. That is how we feel about you.
I don't know when Drew is serious or not.
So I guess that is the best way to describe you. Scary Marlo.
It just scares me with Drew.
Scary. Because, girl, we don't know if you're going to be our friend today. We don't know if you're going to be our enemy. We don't know if you're going to be dragging us in the streets or in our, in this circle. We don't know what to expect from you, honey. We don't know if you're going to be sweet that day. We don't know what to think. We don't know who we're getting on a regular basis.
Therapy works, y'all. I'm telling you, seek it.
Scary Marlo. That's your new name.
I'll be very honest. That is the most vulnerable I've ever seen Drew.
Well, I don't know. When Sonia came back, it seemed like she had some type of sympathy for Drew and her situation because she was like,
It's not just about the lawsuit, guys. It's about, she's going through some things.
And I'm like, from that conversation that they had outside, you would have really felt like Drew had shared something with Sonia. Like, you would really, like, the way Sonia was talking is if she really knew what Drew is going through or something.
She's going through some things.
This lawsuit is a really big thorn in my side.
I just believe you just jumped to whatever somebody tells you.
But it's not about the $1,000. There's a lot more that she can't talk about.
Is there something you're not telling the girls in this moment?
The other thing that I found to be interesting was when they asked Drew, what was she going through personally? That was a whole different situation. They started bringing up last season.
I think when I went out of town last year is when the manager lady was like hitting him up for the massage.
Who was there at the house when she wasn't, and she thought something was going on between Ralph and that assistant.
This time she said it was a manager.
Huh?
And the manager lady was like hitting him up for the massage. I'll say this, so he did bring in an assistant. She had texted him, I'll come to your house and give you a massage.
Right, but then she claims that the manager or somebody is the one who got him the audition for the Chippendales. That's what she said.
No, when Drew's describing last year, It was titled as the assistant last year. Now she's titling that person manager.
You dropped a bomb on me in the gym, right? And so
What's the bomb?
I got to follow up on that. You were telling me about Ralph's assistant, right? She wasn't respecting the queen.
That video happened this year.
Right.
They was working with that lady last year.
No,
I'm confused.
It's two different people. The assistant was the one texting Ralph last year and the messages you guys were reading at her house.
Yeah.
She just labeled her the manager this year. She changed her role. Mm-hmm. Now, when you guys got to Portugal, she said the lady that was working on set with the director is over the men in Vegas and asked him to audition. She's the same lady that was lotioning him up at her video set.
And at our video shoot, one of the producers of the video, she was like oiling him down for the bedroom scene.
I'm still confused at how that relates to last season.
She's bringing up two situations of Ralph getting close with people. That's all she was doing.
So now he's in Vegas. Well, I'm just not really trusting him at this point.
I don't know. You just confused the hell out of me.
No. What she's doing now is she's doing her green screens where she's not in a good space with Ralph.
Okay, right. But it's confusing because when she first told us about Ralph auditioning,
She was excited.
She was excited about it. She was happy.
He's in Vegas on a work trip.
But now,
Well, I'm just not really trusting him at this point.
it sounds like you're saying that was part of your stress during this trip.
So now he's in Vegas. Well, I'm just not really trusting him at this point.
Is that Ralph was in Vegas. But that's not what you said to us at first.
I was at the courthouse before we came here. It's not just about $1,000. It's about a woman who has reached out to bloggers, who has reached out to my family.
So that's why I'm confused. But what I'm saying is when I'm watching this show and she's having this private conversation with the producer,
Is there something you're not telling the girls in this moment?
how did the lady that was the assistant get back involved when y'all had stopped talking to her last year, you said?
No, she's not involved. It's just Drew
But
saying,
she said that lady set up this audition.
No, she was bringing up two different people.
Oh,
She just wants to throw Ralph under the bus and make it about, I've got a lot in my head because he's known to text people for massages. And then now he's on set and the lady oiling him down and now he in Vegas with the lady. She just bringing up anything about Ralph. You get what I'm saying?
Mid-season alert. Do not continue watching season 15 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta if you are sleepy, tired, or under distress. Take note of all things moving forward because it will come in handy later.
And so that's my question. Do you feel, because we don't know the outcome of Drew's story. We know what we
Not
heard,
yet.
but we don't really know facts. Clearly, her and Ralph have to film what is going on. So do you think this is the beginning of Drew fighting for her life?
Girl. You always say somebody fighting for their life. Not fighting for their life. Okay. Well, I don't really understand what's happening. I mean, of course, you know, Drew is having some issues in her marriage, and that's clearly going to get worse as the show proceeds. So I don't really want to get too tough into that because we got more to watch as far as their relationship is concerned. I'm just saying, like, right now I'm confused. I'm confused about what we really upset about. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I'm like, you know, I felt justified in what I said. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was serious when I said and scene. That's what I said, and I stood on it. I want y'all to pay attention. Now, people think they finna catch me up in something that I said and bring it back to me. I own what I say. So don't think you finna come back to me telling me what I said like I'm gonna act like I didn't say it. No, I said it. I said it.
Well, since you're leaving, Kandi, it was brought to my attention that
Now, we could talk about how you feel about what I said. That's fine. Which is what we did.
it was a real moment.
Y'all wasn't even having that serious of an argument. So that's why I was like, my first instinct was to make the joke. But I'm not taking back nothing I said. I mean, I could say, hey, you know, that was wrong. But I said it. It is what it is. I don't know what they call themselves doing, trying to tell on me.
They're saying that they heard Kandi say, when you got up,
And
y'all can
sing?
say it.
They over there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's move on from the first dinner. Okay, so moving on from the first dinner, the next day, we were all planning to have a nice day. Mind you, I wasn't even gonna be able to be on this trip, but 2 full days, right? It was a treacherous trip for me. Because first of all, that was a long way to fly and have bubble guts. That was the first thing. Then, we had this little bullshit argument the first night. But the food, I tried to still eat a little something. It was decent. My stomach started settling a little bit, and I was thankful for that. The hotel was nice. But then, the next morning, we all load up on this bus. Kenya's coming out, and then Kenya falls in front of the door. So to be understanding, at this particular hotel, when it rains, all the floors get really, really slippery because it's like this stone or whatever. And Kenya had on the hotel house shoes, which those are not good shoes to walk around on a wet floor with, just to let you know. All right, so she fell. You guys saw, really the production people had to come out of the woodwork and security. So they kind of gave a glimpse of what really be going on. So y'all saw those dudes that came out. We had some production people, some security people. They all was coming up to get Kenya up and to help her. Now, normally those people are behind camera. Anyway, they were there trying to help her up. But Kenya was in a crazy pain, right? She was having crazy pains up her back. So I was the only person that she really wanted to be with her at the moment. Now I know I felt bad when I went back and watched because I know I just be looking so dry, like I was looking like this. But in my mind, I'm like, all these things are running through my head. I'm like, okay, where are we going? I'm like, fuck, like she done hurt herself. How do I handle this situation? Because I don't know if it was clear to you guys, but most of the people there did not speak English. Okay. So I was trying to my face was like that because I was trying to think through what everything we was about to do because she and I were going to be the only ones heading. They were going to try to send a security person or no, not even security. I think they was going to send a production person with us. Or maybe one production person, one security person. Only Kenya and I could get in the ambulance. Nobody else. So it was only Kenya and I in an ambulance with people who really didn't speak English. Bottom line is, I wasn't going to let my girl go by herself, okay? She and I, that's my road dog. If anything had happened to me, I know she would have done the same for me. And to be honest with you, I would have rather kicked it with her than most of them anyway, except for, Mayetta, that's my girl. And I'm cool with, Drew is my girl too. We cool. But, some of them other ones. Kenya and I had a whole little whirlwind situation that you guys weren't even privy to. Like, we went to this one hospital. When I said it was like the Walk of the Living Dead, basically, they took us to the regular public hospital at first. And, any public hospital in any major city is going to be crowded. And, if it was Grady in Atlanta or something. But they were so crowded, they had hospital beds lined up in the hallways. Okay? And, it was some people who didn't even have a bottoms on, just laying in the bed. This one dude, like he was doing that in the hallway. I was like, Lord Jesus, what the hell they done dropped us into? Now, mind you, they tried to separate me and Kenya when we got to the hospital. They took her off into the hallway in the little where all the people were in the back, and they didn't want me to come. I sat there for a second, but I was like, So I just, I got back there with her. I was like, I'm not leaving her back here. Hell no, this is crazy. Anyway, so we was back there for a minute, and then they were saying they didn't know when they were going to get to see us. Most of those people did not really speak English. It was very stressful for a second, okay? Our interpreter was no longer with us, so we were just trying to figure it out. I was trying to find somebody who halfway spoke, but then we finally got in touch with one of our producers, got the person that had been working with production. They had got in touch with the private hospital. So we broke out of that joint. We just got out of there, got Kenya up, and she held on to me. We got out of there. We were a movie by ourselves, okay? I wish there was a camera with us. We had our own situation. So anyway, we went to the other hospital, and it wasn't as many people. So, Kenya was able to be seen. We got up out of there. We ended up getting us they had some nice food at their restaurant, but we had us some good old KFC overseas. It was good. And we found an ice cream shop. So we were good. And I just escorted her back to her room and she was straight. While we were doing this, apparently the other girls was at this little lunch table.
They're saying that they heard Kandi say, when you got up,
and
y'all can say it.
Having lots to say about me, I see. Marlo over there talking about, oh, well, Kandi just blends in, since she's supposed to be worldwide, why are they waiting? Listen, ma'am. Anywhere in the world, there are going to be some people who may not know who you are, right? But I definitely would say if they don't know me, they don't know you. And there were people over there who didn't know who I am, just to be clear, just so you know. And then they start going back and, Drew's like, a real friend.
I want friends who will care about what I'm dealing with in my life. So when I felt like you weren't hearing me.
We're talking about Kandi right now.
Don't go over there and start believing the hype, Drew. Don't believe they hype, okay?
We could tell what Sheree's mission was.
Clearly. Yeah, Sheree definitely wanted to keep the topic on me.
We're talking about Kandi right now.
Did she not?
Kandi probably just didn't receive it at the time.
I gotta say, it's a little fakeness going on right now.
Anyway, but yeah, Marlo even was like, well, maybe she looked at it a different way. I see some fakeness going on right here. The only thing I thought was fake was the new cast member that keeps showing up in these interview looks. Oh, this was the other thing. Sonya kept it 100. Was that at this table or was it later?
This is at the after party, the pajama.
Oh, that was at the after party. We gonna wait till that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I guess they was trying to put a battery in Drew's bag. Then they were trying to come at Mayetta. Oh, they don't think for themselves.
Can you please, that's Sheree, can you please get your head out of Kenya and Kandi ass?
Well, I think what they're going to do every time Mayetta has an opinion, they're going to act like it's because of you and Kenya, when if she says, maybe you shouldn't bring new boo around till you warmed up to him, that's her opinion.
But the part that I thought was super funny was when they were like,
oh, we always get along when Kenya and Kandi aren't here.
They sit up here and try to make Kenya and I seem like we're the villains. And they just so innocent and everybody get along when we not there. Hello, did they not show that clip of Marlo screaming on Drew earlier in this same episode? I wasn't there for that. Neither was Kenya. So explain. Marlo.
It's always like that when you guys are around because they're bringing it. You're not walking in the room causing a ruckus.
Don't start, none won't be none. I'm just saying. Let's get on to this pajama jam.
I am about to do a girls' night in pajama party.
Sheree has decided she wanted to come in and go in on me talking about I came in there looking like Cleo. I was kind of with my cornrows. I ain't even gonna lie. It was kind of funny.
But you been had the cornrows the whole trip, so why?
I did, but I guess she didn't like because I had on a sweatsuit and everybody else had on girly pajamas. They said we was just gonna be chilling. I'm being comfortable. I think on this show, everybody tries to be extra. And I think, I'm just not finna go all out and be somebody totally different than who I am. I'm trying to be comfortable. This is me being comfortable.
Last night I had an emotional moment. When I got up, you were basically saying
I said, and scene. Drew wanted to dress me saying and scene. She didn't even get it out her mouth good when she was like, oh yeah, they said after I walked out, you said and scene. Yeah. That's what I said. We talked it through. I apologize because I can't tell you how to feel. But hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll just roll with it. I'll let her have that one. You know how you pick and choose your battles? That was when I was like, it's not that deep. Okay. If I made you feel bad, I apologize.
Well, I don't think it was a battle. I think you guys talked it out. You have your opinion, she has hers, and that's what grown people do.
Right. So that's what happened, and we were able to move forward. But then, some kind of way, Sheree brought it back to her business, child. So, Drew, what's been going on with Drop It With Drew?
Drop It With Drew.
And she said everything is going great. And then Sheree started saying we ain't supporting her stuff. The one thing I can say is that finally, Sonya stood up and was like, kept it 100. Like, Kandi and all of us was on this group text. We were all trying to find out when we could post it, when we could support it. And then you didn't have it up. Now, Marlo threw in a little shade talking about, they said it looked like Alibaba. Now, how come she don't notice when they throw the shade, but if I say the shade, then it's a problem?
Because they actually have an alliance.
They do have an alliance, but I just wanted to be noticed by you guys because Marlo clearly said in the room with us there.
They've been saying that it's overpriced and they felt it was on Alibaba.
I was just like, I just picked up my phone and started trying to find it, and so that I could just go on and get mine, because it is true. When we were all hyped about ordering the stuff and all that, it wasn't up on that site for at least another couple of weeks. So I don't keep going back and looking. Like, I didn't look. So I don't know what she was expecting, but now that it's up, I don't have a problem with buying something and supporting it.
Well, at least she had some sales for the year.
I cannot with you, Jamie. I cannot with you, Jamie. Anyway.
She was begging for bucks and that.
You said she was begging for bucks.
While we're supporting, can y'all? I didn't see anybody's name as customers for She by Sheree.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we did it. Everybody did it. Anyway, so they end up showing clips at the end of this episode about the argument that Drew and I had, which we thought was off camera. So the reason why the footage looks different is because at a certain part, and after our conversation, the crew left and they were going to bed, and I guess they suggested to the girls that, yeah, we could take our own camera footage and, for production. They do that. But I think at a certain point, the girls taped for a little while, and I thought that the girls were shutting down. But apparently they didn't. And just to give you context, 2 people had footage. It was Marlo and Mayetta. Mind you, when Drew and I started going back and forth, we didn't realize that they were still filming. So what you're seeing are just little clips here and there, because that's not the full conversation. So I want to clear up something. Drew said that I told LaToya to say that they kissed.
Oh, well, LaToya told me that Kandi told her to say it.
I did not tell LaToya to say that, okay? Now, when LaToya came out to that reunion that year, her and Drew obviously had beef, so she was not holding back and she was saying whatever. Had LaToya and I had a conversation before about the fact that they kissed at that party? Yes, we did have a conversation about it. At the reunion, we touch on there was a kiss that happened between you and Drew.
Yeah, that she denied.
She straight denied it.
We had a moment, okay, at the private bachelorette party that we thought wasn't being filmed at all, but I guess people are speaking on it.
Right.
The kiss. You saw the kiss.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
And she's completely denying that she kissed me. It's like, why can't you kiss a girl? What's the problem with that?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe she just doesn't remember the kiss.
How not?
Because I was thinking, well, maybe she had too much to drink or something like that.
We all did. Yeah. But I remember that kiss, Drew.
You're so funny. Anyway, we always got facts and receipts. So, to be clear, after the cameras went away, the girls started having fun. They were dancing and stuff. Oh, sidebar. I said that I don't know about this relationship with Marlo and the dude from Scotland, but they did seem like they kind of liked each other a little bit. So I'm gonna give them a couple little minutes before I say totally that ain't gonna happen. But I do know she keep her money man on the side. So all that mess about her not dating for 2 years, I don't know. Maybe she don't call what they doing dating. I don't know. And then Martell and Sheree. Sheree is clearly really liking that dick from Martell. Because he all in front of her friends talking about, oh yeah, we normally don't go this long without having sex. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just their thing. I don't have anything against people talking crazy to each other if that's what they like. But I just think it's kind of funny because he's been known to throw that dick a lot of places. So it's just kind of like hearing them talk about it like as if it's exclusive dick. It just kind of... She got excited for it. Yeah, she was like, you know how she do. So I was like, "Ooh, well, he must be giving it to her good." All right, moving right along. We're gonna get back to the argument. So as I was saying about this, basically, somehow we came into the conversation. As always, they always say something about if somebody ever kissed a girl, if somebody ever did something with a girl. I said something like, "Oh yeah, well, clearly I'm the only one who ever admits it." And I think Mayetta said, "Yeah, girl, we are only gonna be the ones to be honest about something like that." Like. And then Sonya said something like, "Yeah, Drew, I'm surprised that you said that you had never done that before." Because she was like, "Because I thought you had said before that you had kissed a girl," or something like that.
I've never kissed a woman.
And then Drew was like, "No, I didn't." I was like, now mind you, I'm thinking we're not being filmed. So I was like, "Girl, okay, you did kiss Toya that time." They also almost come to blows at the finale.
Yes. And they were making out at the bachelorette party. It's like,
well, can I speak to this?
We had that conversation on the show, and they took that out.
They did? Wow.
And then that's what set the whole thing off.
So even if you were filming, you wouldn't have said that?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like certain things that I've been told off camera or in private, or when people have had their moments where they let loose or felt free to talk about certain things around me, and if we weren't on camera, I don't feel like I'm supposed to, drag you or out you with those things on camera. Because there's so many things that I could say. It was still other things that we've discussed that I could say that I would not say because those were private conversations that we've had. And so that's why I mean, like, we were in a space that I thought we was having real girl talk, right? So then when she started like, "No, I didn't," I was like, "Yes, you did." And then Marlo was like, "Yeah, Drew, I seen you too, whatever. So it was two of us saying it. I was like, but she kept saying, "I did not." And she started putting it on her kids. And I was like, okay, now you tripping. I was like, don't be sitting up here lying. And then she was like, "I'm not." And then she started calling me a liar. So it started making my blood boil. So you know how I get, like, if you start calling me a liar, now I'm on a mission to prove your ass wrong. So then I started getting mad. I done called Shamia. I was like, "Shamia, didn't Drew blah 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 blah," and she was like, "Yeah." And then then here comes Drew. "No, I didn't, because I would never do that. She had threw up. She had this. She did it." Like, she had started trying to put on this convincing story. Then that's when Shamia was like, "Oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to say that." So Shamia was like, "Oh, well, I mean, maybe you didn't." So it was like she was convincing these people to change their answers.
But see, if people remember though, the story was when her and Cynthia filmed the next morning on the bed, she said Toya threw up and then she went to her room.
A lot happened before LaToya started throwing up and going to the room. Yeah, nah. So I was just like, I was like, girl, like, stop. So we was like having a real argument where we were really getting heated and getting pissed off. And and it was bothering me because I'm like, okay, me and Drew been getting along this whole season. I know we ain't finna sit up here and argue about some shit that happened 2 years ago and fall out, right? Then that's why I was like, man, I'm getting up out of here because you're not going to be up here calling me a damn liar. That's what we not going to do. You know what I mean? And she was saying, "I never did that. Da, 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 da." So I was just like, you know what? I'm getting the hell up out of here. So that's when you see me grabbing my coat. And then we still argued for a little bit longer. And then I finally just left because I was like, this girl lying. And I'm not finna be going back and forth with her no more. She still stands on it till this day.
I mean,
well, they were making out, and LaToya even said it.
Her husband says that she did not make out with him when I had to speak on it sitting on this couch.
Wait a minute, what?
She said her husband said that Drew's husband said that she did not make out with LaToya when we had.
He
to
was
speak
there.
on it.
I didn't see him.
I'm just telling.
Because I saw them.
She says that never happened. I'm still standing on what I said. So that's why I was like, we're going to have to agree to disagree. That's where we at with it. And that's how I feel. Like, I'm not going to keep going back and forth about it. But it is what it is.
So it cuts to the green screens and you say what you say. Marlo is agreeing that she saw something too. She said you were lying in her green screen though. She reinforced that.
And I'm telling you right now, I saw what I saw. You're not going to make me unsee it. And that's what I kept saying to her then. I'm saying it to you now. You're not going to make me say that I didn't see what I saw. So I'm like, whatever.
So now that it is out in the open and you guys, because like you said, if you saw something in private and you want people to be in a safe space, but now it's in the open and now.
So let me tell you how it came out to be in the open. Oh, wait. I guess I got to say that for next week because I'm sure they're going to show it next week. So y'all just going to have to, next week, we going to finish this conversation. So that's why I don't want to get too far into it now. But what I will say is I am definitely not lying. This is something that I would have never discussed had they not go pulling our off-camera footage back into the show how they do sometimes. You know, you can't never, what they say, it's not right to out anybody. But I didn't even think it was that big of a deal, to be honest with you. Like, a kiss, who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? Especially in this day and age.
Well, what I told you at the reunion when it first happened, I said whatever she told him, that has to be that answer for that reunion.
Exactly. And that's what I felt. I feel like when they showed them clips, which they showed that clip again at them saying, when you could see the girl bouncing up and down, and he's like, get it, go Drew, whatever. I think that probably got her in trouble.
She made some actions and decisions based on how she felt she wanted to do and what she wanted to, how she wanted to live.
And we, you know, it's gonna unfold. We still have some episodes
we
to
still
go.
have some episodes.
And some information that I hear might be said.
About who?
I don't know. Say what? I think they're gonna talk more about what happened and tell some more details.
Toya tweeted it.
But I do know, your wife's arch nemesis did tweet that her and your wife supposedly made out.
Do I need a lawyer?
See, that's the double standard right there. But no. Drew denies that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So Drew denies it.
Drew denies it.
Okay.
Drew denies it. So you know what I'm saying? Unless it comes out on camera and I can see it, and the world is gonna see it at the same time. Like, hey, y'all gonna watch it with me.
So you hearing it now, and if we get a clip in this coming episode, they like flashback, boom, they made out.
Bro. Listen, seriously.
Okay.
What you want me to say about it? You know what I'm saying?
That piece got her in trouble. So it was like, Lord forbid anybody say anything else. So like, that's why I was like, I don't know why this has become a problem, but maybe because of that. I don't know. So, I don't know. We got a lot to talk about in the future episodes. That's all I got to say.
Now, when she is in that green screen, when she says she's never kissed a girl.
I've never kissed a woman.
Listen, I can't do movie promotions right now because we're on strike.
People got questions, including myself.
Questions? Well, what questions?
Did you kiss her?
So I can't say, make sure you watch it. But
Well, I'll say this again.
that's why I say the people don't be thinking about stuff when they be saying it, because, child, facts and receipts. That's what I deal with.
Well, she's trying to stay afloat. Like I said, she is in the fight for her life because it's all about image for Drew. So at this point, fuck a Ralph. She don't care who. Like, it's about what I look like. So that's why next week at the reunion is going to be very interesting because everybody's going to get it.
Ugh.
Everybody's lying. Everybody. I mean, because you've got to keep your image until you're ready to, you know, show things about yourself.
You have to get to the point where you just say, I don't give a fuck what people think. If you're not in that space, it's hard to play on this show and not have the tapes rewound on you. So, child, as for now, that's all I can say. Until next time. And I can't wait till next time because we're gonna have a guest. We are having a guest, right? We are gonna have a guest host. And it's somebody that I love, that she reviews Housewives a lot, so she should have lots of opinions and lots to say. Going forward, we said, like I told you before, that we're going to have guest hosts from time to time who just really have a lot of opinions about the show. Oh, and I saw some of the comments. They were like, can you get regular people opportunity? My whole thing and the team going for the rest of the year, I want to show appreciation to the people who really support us. I really just want to randomly show appreciation to people by involving them, bringing in to what I'm doing, using my platform to support them and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, we're going to bring multiple people on to speak on it, and we'll see how you like them. All right, until next time, thank you for watching. Speak on it. Well, speak on it.